forgive you, William. I forgive you, William. William, I forgive you.
Hello, Detective Murdoch. Remember me? I know what you're thinking. Now I understand how rats get caught in traps. They're easy to fool. Welcome to the Murdoch trap, Detective. We are going to have so much fun.
Dr. Ogden, I have no recourse but to sentence you to be hanged by the neck until you are dead. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Sirs? In here, Crabtree. Sorry I'm late, sirs. Chief Constable Giles has me on desk duty. I had to wait until he left the station.
Right then, let's get on with it, Murdoch.
So, are you sure it was Gillis you saw in the courtroom?
Yes, I'm sure it was him. Unfortunately, no one else saw him.
And you think he's capable of this?
We're talking about James Gillies here, sir. The man has escaped the noose twice.
He's definitely capable of this.
Well, we'll get him this time.
And this time I'll be sure he hangs. Let's get started, shall we?
Right, first we have the telephone call that the maid received. She says she recognized Dr. Ogden's voice.
It's Dr. Ogden. Tell Dr. Garland I will come by at 6 o'clock.
She said her voice was halting. I suspect Gillies recorded telephone conversations of Dr. Ogden's and then edited the results using multiple Edison recorders and phonographs. He figured out a way to record her telephone line at the asylum.
I'll look into that.
Right then, we have the witness who says she saw Dr. Ogden walk into the house.
Hello, Dr. Ogden.
What chic.
That was Gillies, wearing Dr. Ogden's dress. He's assumed a woman's appearance in the past.
Yes, but sirs, Mrs. Smythe said she saw Dr. Ogden's face.
She saw what she thought was her face. He could have altered his appearance. Using a mask, perhaps. Something molded to his face. Possibly latex. He's capable of that.
Well, then there's the blood spatter on Dr. Ogden's dress.
I believe Gillies was wearing Dr. Ogden's dress when he shot Dr. Garland. And then discarded the dress somewhere near her home, knowing it would be found.
Sir, I'm not used to seeing you drink tea in the evening.
I'm not touching a drop of whiskey until Dr. Ogden is exonerated. Show of faith, Murdoch.
That's very kind of you, sir.
So you better catch him double quick, because I'm sick and bloody tired of drinking tea of an evening. Still, the thumb mark on the shell casing is a real problem.
Yes, I have a couple of thoughts about that, George. I'll need you to get some of my things from the office. Firstly, the elastic wax. And if you can manage it, George, I'll need the murder weapon out of evidence. But only if you can manage it. The last thing we need is another police officer working out of the inspector's dining room.
Sir, I'll get it. No one will be the wiser.
Yes, I've seen him before. He works with a telephone exchange.
When was he here?
Oh, a few weeks back. He was here a couple of times.
Did he work on Dr. Ogden's telephone?
I didn't follow him around the building, but he could have. Now, if you will excuse me.
Oh, of course, Doctor. Thank you.
Constable Crabtree.
Oh, sir.
Are you intending to leave?
No, sir.
What are you doing then?
I was just bringing Detective Murdoch some of his equipment, sir.
Oh, I see nothing wrong with that. Why so guilty, Crabtree?
Well, just, I suppose this falls outside of the scope of my regular duties, sir.
Yes, well, consider this your lunchtime then. What's this for?
That's silly robber, sir. It's an invention of the detectives.
Yes. No doubt.
Is that how he did it, then?
Sir, I don't know if wax is the best material for the mold, but I'm certain he used latex rubber for the cast. Any luck at the asylum?
Oh, Gillis was there, all right. Twice.
Once to set up the recording device, a second time to remove it.
Bloody Gillis.
Well, at least our suspicions are confirmed.
Sirs, I managed to bring the gun. No sooner did I get it than Chief Constable Giles stopped me. Well, I just about laid an egg, but he was distracted then by your silly rubber there. Where shall I put this, sir?
In the corner. Wait, George. Did the Chief Constable touch this?
Yes, sir. He got his thumb stuck in it. Look right there.
George, I have another job for you.
What are you doing?
Trying to figure out how Gillies planted blood spatter on Dr. Ogden's dress.
Well, he did it by wearing the dress when he shot Dr. Garland.
Then why were there no powder burns on Dr. Garland's face?
From the gunshot?
Yes. I never thought about it before, but if Gillies was standing close enough to get blood spatter on the dress...
And he should have been close enough to get gunpowder residue onto Dr. Garland.
Exactly.
That's your point.
You had to know, didn't you? That if you hadn't checked for her finger marks on the cartridge, she would have gone free? I knew you would, of course. You're just so curious. And you must wonder, how does she feel knowing it was your doubt of her innocence that will see her hang?
Gillies was behind all this?
Yes, and I believe Gillies made a latex mask resembling you. But to do this, he would have had to have taken plaster mold of your face.
When would he have done that?
I don't know, but I believe he did. Now, Julia, think back. Can you recall anything unusual?
William, I never told you this, but about 2 months ago, I suffered a memory lapse. One moment I was sitting at my desk, and the next moment I woke up on my couch. I just thought I'd been working too hard.
How much time had elapsed?
Maybe 1 or 2 hours.
Powder residue. And that's 2.5 feet.
May I shoot the next one?
I don't know, Emily. That's an official police ordinance. All right, just this once. So, this will be 2 feet. All right. Both feet planted firmly. And... Good shot. Dr. Grace, I think we've just proven our case.
What in blazes is going on?
We are conducting an experiment that will prove that Dr. Ogden was wrongfully convicted.
Indeed.
Chief Constable, blood spatter travels 3 feet. Now, given that spatter was found 12 inches up the sleeve of the dress, we can surmise that the gun was within 2 feet of our victim.
A distance that should have left visible gunpowder residue on Dr. Garland's face.
But there was none.
How do you know how far blood spatter travels?
Detective Murdoch and I conducted an experiment on a previous case.
On a human being?
No, a pig.
You shot a living pig?
Dead, actually.
And as a result of this, you've determined that the blood spatter was artificially applied? Well, this was applied with what, a flick of a brush? And this? It's rather uneven, isn't it? Multiple applications with a perfume sprayer? This, on the other hand, is real blood spatter. From the explosive displacement following a bullet striking well-vascularized flesh. There's no faking this. So whoever was wearing this dress shot somebody other than Dr. Garland. And who would that be? It's a matter of time before... There's always some emergency. It's a matter of some urgency.
How's it going?
George managed to record 7 minutes of conversation.
Will that be enough?
It'll have to be.
What do you want me to do with this plaster, Paris?
Put it on my face.
I came as soon as I could. What's the problem?
Judge Matthews.
You just telephoned me. You said it was a matter of some urgency.
I never telephoned you.
We spoke. It was your voice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do. We found another finger mark on the weapon that killed Dr. Garland.
You're under suspension. You can't be here, either of you.
Chief Constable, have you had occasion to handle this weapon with your bare hands?
Of course not.
Then how do you explain your thumb mark on the gun?
very resourceful, Detective.
Will someone please apprise me of what is going...
Detective Murdoch has demonstrated that someone could have fabricated some of the evidence against Dr. Ogden. The telephone call and the finger mark. However, he has yet to demonstrate how it is that someone saw her walk...
Good God.
Constable Crabtree, I presume?
And who do you think fabricated the evidence against the accused?
We know who it is. It's Gillis.
Who the devil is that?
James Gillis is a very dangerous young man who wishes to destroy Detective Murdoch. Murdoch saw him in the courtroom.
Well, since we're entertaining theories, is it not equally possible that you orchestrated all of this?
Me?
Yes. You commit the crime, you set up Dr. Ogden, then you set about proving Dr. Ogden's innocence by conjuring a personal nemesis. You present me with proof that Dr. Ogden is innocent, and I'll stay the execution. If not, justice will take its course as scheduled.
You have subverted my authority. You have disregarded the terms of your suspensions.
Sir, you are proceeding on...
Silence! Until this matter is resolved, you are both reinstated. But what are you standing about for? If Dr. Ogden is innocent, we haven't got much time to prove it.
No doubt you figured out how I recorded her voice, put her finger marks on the gun, and the mask. Well, by now you know all about the mask. Your Dr. Ogden has a beautiful face. I quite enjoyed wearing it. You should see the looks I got. Now, Detective. This film is my confession to the murder of Dr. Garland. All the evidence you'll need to exonerate Dr. Ogden.
Show yourself!
Here I am. Now I know what you're thinking. How many mirrors? How far away is he? Well, I'll tell you. I have 5 mirrors, each with a concavity of 5%. Oh, look at you thinking. What is the function?
You're in the house next door. To the south.
Bravo! Well, I must say, it is such a pleasure to have, well, such a capable partner in this endeavor.
Endeavor?
Well, to get Dr. Ogden exonerated, I don't want her to hang. I'm fascinated by the idea of love, Detective. What will a man sacrifice for the woman he loves?
We have 3 days to prove Dr. Ogden's innocence.
And to do that, we need to confirm her alibi.
The woman, the one Dr. Ogden took to poor credit.
Or at least the driver.
You think Penelope was working with James Gillies?
I believe both she and the driver were working with Gillies. It's a clever way to make sure you have no alibi.
Things she told me, details about what her husband had done to her. It rang true, William. She told me he once pushed her face into horse manure.
It's despicable, to be sure, but hardly beyond imagining.
He did it in front of a constable, and it cost him 2 months in jail. I don't think she made it up, William.
Perhaps that's why Gillies chose her. It's easier to lie about things that you've lived.
If that's the case, then her husband does exist. Not as Desmond Irwin, perhaps, but he's out there.
Time to go.
I want you to go through every case of wife beating in the last 5 years. We're looking for a man who shoved his wife's face in horse manure, among other things.
From Toronto, sir.
From all of bloody Ontario.
Sir, that'll be hundreds of cases.
Have you got something better to do, Higgins?
We don't know where she's from, Henry. Start with the cases that resulted in conviction. Of those, pull out the ones where the husband's been released. That should help narrow down the search.
Right, get on with it.
George, I want you to concentrate your energies on finding the coach driver.
Sir, what if Gillies was the coach driver?
Bloody hell, Crabtree. If Gillies was the coach driver, who was shooting Dr. Garland?
Well, I didn't think it all the way through, sir.
No, the mouth was slightly wider, I think. That's more like it.
Any facial hair?
He had a beard, same color as his hair.
Long?
About an inch, I'd say, and not very thick, around the cheek area. That's him.
Are you sure? Excellent. Well, this will give us something to go on. Dr. Ogden,
when I had to testify against you, I felt such a traitor. I'm so sorry.
George, you were compelled by law. This has been hard on all of us.
Detective Murdoch will come through, I'm sure of it. He'd do anything. He'd give his life for you.
Doesn't every man tell his lover he would die for her? But how many truly would? Would you? I know you'd fight for her to the death if necessary, but to actually trade your life. That is my experiment, Detective. That phone is connected to the telephone exchange. Simply lift the receiver, have the operator connect you to the police, and tell them where to find you and the evidence. But if you lift the receiver, it activates an automatic valve, which will fill the room with carbon monoxide. Do you know what that is?
Of course I do.
You will lose consciousness within a minute. Death will follow minutes after. So, Detective, what will it be?
I'll let you know once I've decided.
Oh, these are quite detailed. Very good, George.
I found him. Sir, his name is Harold Long. He was convicted in Toronto of assault, sentenced to 6 months.
How do we know it's him?
He shoved his wife's face in the horse manure, sir.
Toronto Constabulary. You recognize this woman?
That's Dolly. My wife.
Dolly. Where can we find her?
I don't know. She and I... We had a falling out.
Oh, is that what you call it? You beat her till she bled, and then you pushed her face into a pile of horse crap.
I've done some terrible things, but I've since fallen under the light of the Lord.
Oh, well, that's all very fascinating. We just want to find her.
I came back to an empty house. Her sister told me she'd left the country.
She has a sister.
When she heard he was being released, she came to live with us. But we both knew he'd find her.
Where is she?
Hamilton.
Do you have an address?
She ran out of money. I would have helped her, but I couldn't. She ended up selling herself on the streets. I don't know where she is now.
Thank you.
Wait. Would a photograph of her help?
This is Dolly Long, also known as Penelope Irwin. I want each of you to take a copy of the photograph and a train ticket to Hamilton. According to her sister, she's walking the streets. So we're going to concentrate our search on the dock areas and lower downtown. Remember to dress in your civvies. I don't want any run-ins with the Hamilton police. Right then, chop chop.
I understand you know this woman.
You two friends of hers?
It's important we find her.
Her name is Dolly. I haven't seen her for a bit. She keeps a room upstairs.
It's Dolly Long, sir.
There goes Dr. Ogden's alibi. Why would he bury her in salt?
I believe because he didn't want the body discovered until the end of the trial.
And sir, look, gunpowder burns. That's how Gilly's got blood spatter on Dr. Ogden's dress. It's her blood.
So he took Dr. Ogden's dress, shot her alibi, and then dumped the dress in her rubbish.
Sir, if that's the case, then she was shot the same day as Dr. Garland. George, interview the tenants in the building, see if anyone recalls hearing a shot that night.
Sure.
Sir. .38 revolver, conveniently placed. We'll need to take this with us.
And the body, too.
That would be a serious breach of jurisdiction.
We don't have time to mess around with the Hamilton police and coroner.
Sir, what I mean to say is that it needn't be your decision.
Sod that. We'll hang together after we clear her name.
Given the state of the decay of the exposed hand, I'd estimate it was about a month ago.
So she could have been killed the same day as Dr. Garland.
That would certainly be within the time frame.
Did you recover the bullet?
I did.
.38 caliber?
Yes.
Detective? Ah, sir. Two tenants in Dolly Long's building heard a single shot about a month ago. One of them claims that a woman in a green dress left the building shortly thereafter.
Gilly's in disguise. Check the weapon for finger marks.
Sir, will do. Also, Chief Constable Giles is at the station. He wants you to report him.
Thank you.
Is there no law that you won't break? No rule that you won't see fit to bend to your own ends?
Time was of the essence, sir.
I'm aware of your constraints. I too am constrained by the dictates of my profession. And that may mean nothing to you scofflaws, but it means a great deal to me.
We'll take full responsibility.
You will do more than that. You'll both of you compose a sincere letter of apology to the Chief Constable of Hamilton and to the coroner, and you'll return the evidence forthwith.
After we've finished with it, of course.
You're in no position to bargain, Inspector.
We're not bargaining, sir. We're asking.
You have until the end of the day.
Sirs, I found finger marks on the weapon.
Whose are they, George?
Dr. Ogden's.
Oh, of course they are. Mr. Gillies is nothing if not thorough.
So where does that leave us then?
Well, we can't take this evidence to Judge Matthews. He'll simply think that Dr. Ogden was the killer.
Why would she kill her own alibi?
It doesn't matter. Judge Matthews has no vested interest in seeing Dr. Ogden exonerated. He believes that she killed her husband, and this evidence will only serve to cement that impression. With the woman dead, you have to find the carriage driver.
What did you want this time?
This man.
Sorry.
I see him.
Yeah?
He's to pick up Dolly, and only Dolly. If she's with someone, he'd wait. But he never went upstairs with her.
Do you know who he is?
No.
But you're sure it was him?
It was him, all right. Except he had shorter hair.
Call it tonight, Murdoch. You'll need your wits about you if we're to find Gillies.
I'll try to get some sleep. You have my word.
It was him, all right. Except he had shorter hair.
If Gillies was the coach driver, who was shooting Dr. Garland?
Darcy. 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 Darcy?
So what will it be, Detective? Will she die, or will you? The clock on the wall reads 8 o'clock. So either it's wrong, or you've been here for...
20 hours. Oh.
There's a new drug developed by the Bayer Company. It's used to put dogs down, but in a lower dosage, it puts humans in a temporary coma. That means she hangs in less than 12 hours. By the time the clock comes back to 8, she'll be dead.
Sir, I've been to the courthouse, city hall, the jail. There's no sign of the detective anywhere.
Jackson, where the bloody hell have you been?
I was off duty, sir.
Off duty? Dr. Ogden has got 12 hours to live. Were you at this desk last night?
Yes, sir.
So did you see Murdoch leave?
About 10 o'clock, sir.
Well, where was he going?
He didn't say.
Why the hell didn't you ask?
I gather you haven't heard anything.
No.
Then I think we should assume for the purposes of this investigation that Murdoch is dead.
Dead?
I can think of only one scenario where Murdoch would fail to make communication. He found out where Gillies was and left to confront him. You can draw your own conclusions as to how that turned out.
You cold-blooded bastard.
Whatever Murdoch's fate, the thrust of this investigation must be to exonerate Dr. Ogden. Godspeed, gentlemen.
Sir, I think he's right. If Detective Murdoch went to confront Gillies, he found something, sir, something we're missing.
Bloody hell. This is what Murdoch figured out. Gillis was driving the coach.
So that means he was with Dr. Ogden at the time of the murder. If that's the case, who shot Dr. Garland?
William is missing. I wondered why he hadn't come.
I should have told you earlier, but I was hoping he would have returned by now.
He must be in trouble.
Perhaps he simply hasn't had time to communicate what he's found. He'll come through. He always does.
You want me to believe in miracles?
Why not?
The absurdity of it all. There's so much I wanted to do with my life. I pray William's all right.
I just can't figure it, Crabtree. How did he do it?
Sir, that's Detective Murdoch's hat.
Murdoch! Right, let's search the whole house, top to bottom.
Sir! Sir!
It's welded on, but by all means, try. Detective, do you really think I'd use a lock you could pick? There are only two ways out, Detective. Allow her to hang, and I'll let you go. Or pick up the phone, save her life, and let your soul go free. You're looking for me, aren't you? My face is just a camera obscura projection, but that's not how I see you. So where am I? Very good. Go ahead, but then you won't get to see the rest of my film with the evidence that will exonerate her. Good boy, Detective.
Sir, that's it. Every inch. There's no sign of him.
Bloody hell.
What are you doing? Oh, such purpose. What are you going to do?
I want to see the rest of the film.
Very good, Murdoch. Very good. You needed to blind me. You're up to something. What are you planning, Murdoch?
Checking to see if you're as clever as you think you are.
Very sneaky, Murdoch. Why did you do that? Why did you try to blind me?
Because I could.
Well played, Murdoch. Which is a crueler punishment? To kill a man, or to destroy the most precious thing in his life? Which hurts more?
Number, please.
Morse code.
Oh, yes, Inspector. I checked my handbook. It repeats in 3 sections of 5. Someone is trying to send a message.
When did this come in?
6 o'clock. It was the first call through this morning. It's spelling the numbers 691.
It's Murdoch, I'm sure of it. Where did the call come from?
We can identify the neighborhood, but we'll have to physically trace it. It may take a while.
Get on it immediately. It's an emergency. 691. 691.
There you have it, Detective Murdoch. A full confession. All the evidence she'll need. The decision is yours. Are you satisfied, Detective?
Yes?
One telephone call. That's all it takes to save her life.
Yes, I've got it. No, that's fine, I've got it. Sir, they traced the signal to a switchbox in the Sherburne-Jarvis area.
Jarvis? Garland lives on Jarvis
Yes,
Street.
sir, Dr. Garland lived at 693. The Morse code message spelled out 691.
Next door.
Crabtree, break out the arm reins.
I must admit, Detective, I am just so curious as to what you are up to.
How do I know this telephone is working?
Well, you'll just have to trust me. It's decision time, Detective. Who lives? You or your lady love? You have 1 hour.
Well, then I guess it's goodbye, Mr. Gillies. Operator, put me through to station house number 4. It's an emergency. Hello, it's Detective Murdoch. Please listen very carefully to what I'm about to say.
Briscoe, you two take the upstairs. Baker, cover this floor. Crabtree, come with me.
Detective Murdoch! Detective Murdoch!
James Gillies, hands where I can see them.
It's too late for your detective, I'm afraid.
Cuff him, Crabtree.
Sir, it's Detective Murdoch. Sir!
Can you see the lock, Crabtree?
Top corner there, sir.
Fire!
Sir, are you all right?
What time is it?
7:20.
The film.
What film?
The projector, get the film.
Moving, Crabtree!
Oh, gentlemen, my hair's a fright.
Do you have anything you wish to say?
If William Murdoch should ask what my final words were, tell him he never failed me and that I so loved him.
No, stop! What? We have the killer. This is his confession. She's innocent.
Take the noose off her neck. You'd better not be stalling for time, Detective Murdoch.
I'm not, Your Honor. I swear to you, I'm not. It's all right. It's all right.
Hello, Detective Murdoch. Remember me? I know what you're thinking. Now I understand how rats get caught in traps. They're easy to fool. Welcome to the Murdoch trap, Detective. We are going to have so much fun.
Shall we go to dinner? Celebrate?
I don't know, William.
What is it?
Darcy is dead because of me. Because of us.
Julia.
Can you deny it?
No.
I should rest.
Some other time then.